To the class of 2020, congratulations for completing one of the most challenging and unexpected semesters in memory. No one could have imagined the dramatic turn our lives would take after our winter break, and I remain deeply grateful for the remarkable resilience of the Capstone Academy faculty and staff. Their dedication to our students has always been a hallmark of Capstone Academy, and they shined when it mattered the most. I'm equally grateful to our students, who overcame the great disappointment of not being able to return to campus and yet finished the semester with hard work, patience, and grace. You have all been deprived of a great deal over the last few months, as have we all. We've had to do without much of what makes our normal lives. My guess is that it has helped you think about what's important to you, what you can live without, and what you can't. And my hope is that as you prepare to re enter the world at some point and start the next chapter of your lives, you're thinking hard about what you want to bring with you. There's a line from a Bruce Springsteen song called The Land of Hope and Dreams, and it's about a couple who, for unstated reasons, quickly leave their home to board a train in search of a better life. The character in the song says to his partner, "We'll take what we can carry and we'll leave the rest." Many of you have already faced a similar challenge, as we asked you to quickly vacate the school and stay at home. And now, as high school graduates, you're entering the world, either into college, the job market, or a gap year before either one. What we will carry with us, I wonder. What we will leave behind. Will we miss it? More generally, what have you discovered or rediscovered during this time of isolation that you want to carry with you when the world reopens and your life restarts? And what in particular do you want to carry with you from Capstone Academy? I might suggest that you carry forward the values of this place, like trust, honor, integrity, and civility. That you bring with you the willingness and capacity to build bridges. That you carry forward qualities that are the hallmarks of a great and good education. Skepticism, so you don't believe everything you read, even when you write it. Or empathy, so you can see the world through the eyes of others. Or passion, so you have something other than coffee that makes you excited to get up in the morning. Or vulnerability, because when you drill down, that's the heart of all friendships. Scores of people think they have a game plan, a coherent and thoughtful approach to life. But we all know that a plan doesn't mean anything when something goes horribly wrong. Or, as Mike Tyson once quipped, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Yes, life moves on us. Things shift. Viruses spread, disruptions occur, and economies unexpectedly tank. The sturdy life we thought we had was, upon closer examination, more like a fragile house of cards than we would like to admit. If this is true, the question then becomes, how do we become the kind of people who know how to handle whatever life throws at us? How do we learn to think on our feet and navigate the terrain we never expected to traverse? In our information age of Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, we are largely untrained in the art of conversation. It just takes too much work. Human beings can be so complicated, so we go online for a quick Google search, or we ask Siri or Alexa. We hope to find the right information. Maybe there's a how-to video on YouTube that'll help us. But with all the crucial questions in life, you don't need a search engine, you need a sage. In the moments where a critical discernment is needed, you need and should seek advice, conversation, exchange of ideas with experienced ones. I shouldn't answer the question of what you should carry with you and what you should leave behind. It's far better that you answer it for yourself. My only hope is that because of your time here, you have a proclivity to ask questions, repeatedly if need be, that you have the ability to answer them, that because of your time at Capstone Academy, you are in a better position to know what you should carry with you and what you should leave behind. That you are in a better position, in other words, to answer not just the age-old question of what is the good life, but what more specific question of what is my good life? Because at the end of the day, our basic business at Capstone Academy is to help people live their very best lives. And I'm pretty sure that if you know what to carry with you and what to leave behind, you'll do just that. It's been said that it's not always about what you know, but who you know. Surround yourself with smarter, wiser, experienced people. I know I always do. And don't be afraid to ask. Don't play the fool. You don't always have to learn the hard way. Look around the landscape and find someone who has a life worth emulating. Buy them a meal. Come prepared with a legal pad and 4 or 5 good questions. If you'll take the time and do the work, you'll find sages along the way who can save you a lot of heartache. In short, make it your goal to spend the rest of your life chasing wisdom. Hopefully, we've started you on that educational path of inquiry here at Capstone. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Hi, guys. First of all, I wanted to say how proud I am of how you've handled this last couple of months. Once in a century event that you got to unfortunately experience. And I'm so sorry you missed out on things. But most of all, I'm bummed out that I missed out on being around you guys the last couple months and just talking with you and hanging out with you and fussing at you about senioritis. But I just want to brag on your talents and your gifts and your heart, and I just know you're going to slay it next year. And that's also a lot of unknowns for you, what's going to happen next year. But I'm confident that these schools are going to rise up and figure out how to do it, and you're going to get to have that freshman year that you've been so excited for. My only parting words for you is really from firsthand experience, and I just want to tell you this, that no matter what you experience, whether good or bad, what choices you make, whether good or bad, everything that you're going to do is going to build on a foundation that you're going to use. There's no mistakes. Everything is going to be used. So what I want you guys to understand is I was 47 years old when I found my purpose to start the school. I know that seems like a million years away from you, and I hope it doesn't take you that long. But everything that I went through prepared me for that aha moment. And so I just want you to seize every moment, be present, be aware of all the people around you that are pouring into you, protect yourself from people that aren't pouring into you, and just know that you can lean on your friends and your family if you ever get homesick or you just need to pick up the phone and call your mama. Don't feel like that's not okay. Just count on those people. And most of all, I just love you and I adore you, and I hope that you'll come back and visit me. Have a great journey.
Good evening to you, Capstone Academy graduates of 2020, and to your families. It's my great pleasure to have the opportunity to wish you well and help send you off into your future on your last official day of high school. For you, Paxton, our brilliant, artistic, opinionated wonder child, Kelly, our clever, loyal, fidget toy wielding dancer, Oliver, our fun-loving, entertaining, charming, actor, dancer, cheerleader, and Alex, our quiet, technologically gifted, smart, kind friend. I had the pleasure to start high school here with you as your 9th grade English teacher, then 10th grade English teacher, then 12th grade English teacher. Boy, you must be sick of me by now. You're the first graduates to have attended Capstone for your high school career. Over the next years, we lost some memorable class members, but we also gained Hannah, our hardworking, smart, optimistic beauty, and Garrison, our athletic, bright, kind soccer phenom. And this year, to round out our senior class, Lance, our creative, humorous, Colorado-loving friend, and Sydney, our glamorous, multitasking, internet surfing, future criminal defense attorney. You completed our class. Let me just share with your families that you haven't lived until you taught high school seniors. Your loved ones here started the year with a declaration that I shouldn't plan too much as they were not so keen about actually doing anything this year. You were seniors with a serious case of senioritis on day 1. Don't expect us to be here too much, Miss Brown. You said this all year, yet you kept showing up. And you worked, again and again. Here's a cut-up sonnet for you to figure out how to put together. Let's time it. The winning group gets points. I do believe you hopped to it and got it done in record time. Proud smiles splashed across your faces. Our deal was successful. Get the work done first, then we can talk about life. and you almost always said, "Thank you, Mrs. Brown," every time you left class. So you see, I basically ignored your senioritis. You said you were over school, but your actions revealed you remained curious about learning and the nuances of languages, sometimes with the most colorful, even hair-raising of verbal expressions. You each have given me two of the best compliments a teacher can ever receive. First, you thanked me for caring so much about you. It's easy to do when your students are so awesome. You also gave me knowledge I couldn't get out of my own teenagers at my own house, like the meanings of certain gang symbols they secretly tried to get me to make, and slang expressions that left me a little more knowledgeable, whether I liked it or not, of the world you inhabit. You had my back, and I had yours. I care about you, yes, and I also love you as part of our Capstone family for as long as you need me. The second best compliment is, you're one of the ones I feel like I can tell about my life, where I've been and where I want to go. This means even more to me than whether you truly fully understood the 17th century British poetry or whether you actually read your independently selected novel. Going forward, seek out the professors and mentors who come into your life as those who care. They will continue to care about you just as we have, and they will want to hear about where you're going and where you've been. Finding them is as important as learning what they have to teach you in their subjects. As a young poet advises, and which applies well to your capstone experience, is quite a scary path to walk on when you have no one's past experience to lean on or learn from. It's all new and uncharted, but nothing is finished unless it's started. You were here to start this school, whether it was in year 1 or year 5. We are still growing and stretching and building. The great humanitarian Mother Teresa explained, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. You have created the ripples from which the school can continue to grow." So I say to that, thank you, and I love you.
Fellow graduates, families, and friends, it is a tremendous honor to stand before you all today on behalf of the Capstone Academy class of 2020 to say a few words on this wonderful evening. It is extremely special to each of us that you are here to celebrate this precious moment with us as we conclude our high school journey and open up the door to the next stage in our lives. I arrived here, a shy kid who didn't know a single person, in August of 2018. The only ones that I knew were those who I had met a few days prior at my first training sessions at Atlanta United. I must thank the teachers, faculty, and my classmates for making me feel welcomed into the Capstone family right off the bat. I know it isn't easy being the new kid, but everyone made me feel right at home, and for that I am thankful. I want to continue on by relaying a quote that I think is of great importance at this time. John Wooden, famous basketball player and coach, once said, "Things turn out best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out." I've known and used this quote for quite some time now, but at this time more than ever, I believe it is of great importance for everyone to hear. Students, I know this hasn't really been the glorious senior year that you may have envisioned as a child. One thing I do know is that we have definitely made the best of our situation as possible. No, this spring has not been easy on any single one of us, although I wouldn't choose any different faculty, classmates, and family to go through it all again. We've proven how strong we are, how creative we are, how adaptable we are, and how much courage we have, all which are prodigious qualities to have. That being said, there's no doubt in my mind that each and every single one of us graduating tonight has a bright and promising future ahead of us. So let's go and make it happen. Next, I would like to take a second to thank a few special people. First, I would like to thank Miss Willis. Without you, myself and the rest of the Capstone student body wouldn't have this wonderful place to call our home. Trust me, the immense amount of time and effort you have spent to better our school experience for each of us does not go unnoticed. Mr. Betts, I would like to thank you for making Capstone a safe, welcoming, and fun learning experience for all of your students. I'm sure I can speak for the whole 2020 class when I say we will miss seeing both of your smiles when we walk into the building every day. Next, I would like to appreciate all of the teachers. I know my experience here at Capstone was slightly different from the rest, so I didn't get to have a relationship with quite a few of the teachers. Nonetheless, you all have played a big part in developing who we are as young adults, and for that, we thank you. Last, but certainly not least, I would like to thank my family for being the most loving and supportive group of people I could ask for, even when I'm a pain in the behind. You push me every day to become a better person, and I wouldn't have preferred any group of people by my side in the 18 years I've been on this earth other than you. So seniors, whom I've shared many memories with, this is it, the end of the road. The end of one stage of our life and the beginning of the next. I wish every one of you the best of the best for whatever is in your future. Class of 2020, good luck and congratulations. Tubbs out.
I'm the one that gets to talk about you. I'm going to call on one of my favorite songwriters and share some lyrics from a song by the Zac Brown Band, which is aptly called Lance's Song. I'm going to butcher it and take some liberty with some of the lyrics, but I found it to be inspiring and spot on in its poetry about a guy named Lance. Doing what you love has a high price to pay. Some put on a suit, but he ran the other way. Drums down out the yuppies and the ones who couldn't dream, 'cause the freedom music gave him was worth more than anything. Rolling down the windows, trying hard to fight the sleep. That was every morning. And when he closed his eyes, fell into a dream that never dies. And when the thunder comes, you can hear his snowboard get some air. 'Cause we don't know what we got until it's gone, like it or not. For him, there's no waiting. He got his silver invitation. Do a little boarding in the big half pipe in the big sky. Zac Brown, forgive me. Lance, congratulations on your academic success this semester. You faced some challenges and rose to those challenges, not quitting when quitting would have been the easy thing to do. We have all admired your entrepreneurial spirit, your independent spirit, your individualistic spirit. Hell, we just enjoyed your spirit, period. You are a bright, creative thinker who clearly can do anything you set your mind to doing. I always remember that Mini Cooper flying up to school to the last minute, or more often, late. When reckless abandon, music blaring, at least I think that's what you call music, and then in comes Lance. Some days more awake than others, but always with a smile and a good morning greeting and a flip of the hair. Your teachers and friends got you, understood you, even when sometimes you didn't understand yourself. Your quick wit, your sense of big picture, and the humble confidence in your thoughts, ideas, and beliefs was contagious. You gave us all a run for our money and yet endeared yourself to all who know you, and we didn't know what we had until you were gone. Your passion for snowboarding is clear, and that's what you love. The song says, doing what you love has a high price to pay. Some put on a suit, but he ran the other way. Keep doing what you love, even if you have to run the other way. Your path is out there, and it's your path, no one else's. Follow your passion, follow your path, and know that Capstone supports you. Wherever that path leads you, you can follow it with pride and confidence, because Lance, you've graduated from high school. Congratulations.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Johns. I'm a Spanish teacher here and was very lucky to have taught Oliver this past year. So here I go. Oliver blank. It will be very hard to sum up this larger-than-life young man in just a couple minutes, but that's one of the most beautiful things about Oliver. He's so unique and constantly growing and evolving. His parents describe him as an oversized personality with a fun, mischievous, and creative streak to his friends. And to teachers, family, and other adults, he is engaging, well-spoken, and thoughtful. While all of those are most certainly true, Oliver has also shown us adults his fun, mischievous, and creative streak as well. And we are lucky to know all these sides of this wonderful young man. The first time I met Oliver, we were on a field trip hiking Stone Mountain before I was his teacher. And I remember immediately thinking how funny and friendly he was. And just like his sidekick, Kelly, I was very excited when I saw his name on my roster and was looking forward to getting to know him in my class. His parents shared that since he was a toddler, he's always loved the spotlight and still does to this very day. And I could tell on the first day of class that I, also an actor, was going to have to share the spotlight. And under the spotlight, Oliver brings true joy and laughter to all those around him. Not a day went by in our class where students weren't laughing or truly enjoying their time in the classroom, thanks to Oliver's jokes, stories, and outbursts, which were sometimes inappropriate. But I just couldn't get mad at him because he was so darn funny. One of my favorite memories is when we were actually out here, we did a fashion show in my class. And Oliver, of course, took it next level, showed up to school in a head-to-toe neon green outfit. And he wanted to have a special runway song, so he played that, and he turned around and turned his cap to the front. Well, his cap, I didn't know he was planning on wearing, had a very inappropriate phrase on it. But again, it was so funny, and the whole class was dying laughing that we just had to enjoy the moment. And those are the memories that students remember and teachers remember. My kids aren't going to remember the grammar that I taught them. They're going to remember the joy that Oliver brought to the class and all of the laughs we shared together. His parents also shared that he has flourished under the flexibility afforded him by Capstone to pursue his interests in professional cheerleading, tennis, and now acting. And as an actor myself, I know just how tough the industry is. So Oliver, please continue to carry your energy, enthusiasm, and positivity with you every step of the way in your acting career. It will not be easy, but just as you have done here at Capstone, keep shining under the spotlight and don't let anyone dim your light. The spotlight loves you, and that's because you spread love, laughter, and joy to everyone that is touched by your light. All of us here at Capstone, along with your family, are so, so proud of you, and we will miss you so much. Keep shining bright, and I'll see you on the big screen. Oliver Blank, woo!
Hello, my name is Alex Luce, and I taught Sydney Hitt U.S. History this year. Sydney was a new student to Capstone this year, and while her time with us was short, I was very happy to have the opportunity to get to know her. Transferring your senior year of high school is never easy, and I was impressed by how well Sydney fit in right away and how sure of herself she seemed in class. She was never scared to ask questions and voice her opinion on what matters to her, two qualities I find very admirable. We had lots of fun conversations in class, especially about Utah, one of my favorite states, where Sydney will be attending college. As the only senior in her class, it was a fun and memorable day for all of us when Sydney raised her hand and announced to the class that she had gotten into the University of Utah. Another memorable day was when Sydney dumped an entire venti coffee on my floor on our way out from second period. Like Sydney, I also enjoy a large coffee, so I couldn't be mad at her about it. And she did bring me some cake pops the next day to make up for it. But my main memories of Sydney are that she couldn't stand when we learned about those troubling parts of history because she just hates when anything seems unfair. She pushed me and her classmates to think about things differently. She asked lots of questions and spoke her mind when we had class discussions. I know this curiosity will serve her well when she attends the University of Utah. They're lucky to have you, Sydney, and we will miss you.
So my name is Miss Ash, and I have had the pleasure of teaching Paxton more than one subject. I had her first a couple of years ago for psych, and then again this year for art. I first got to know Paxton, of course, in my psych class. She was, at the time, the youngest in the class, being a sophomore in a class that was mainly full of juniors. But she was fearless. She always participated in class, even though it was first period, and she had clearly been up until 3 a.m. She voiced her opinions clearly and articulately, and even stumped some of the other students sometimes. My first experience of Paxton was her intelligent, academic, precise side. Then I had the joy of getting to have her for art and for art club. And this allowed me to see a totally different side of her. I could see her more social side, her creative side, and the side of her that liked comics and anime, the side that likes characters and fantasy worlds. The side of her would spend all of class mixing 100 different colors on a scratch sheet of paper and not actually painting anything on her final painting. It was a new side to see, and I felt I got to get a fuller picture of Paxton. And I, of course, would be remiss if I did not mention mural camp. Paxton had a heavy hand in the completion of the art room mural, and I relied on her heavily to do the detailed, hard work that no one else could do. If anyone ever needs a story about Paxton's self-discipline, perseverance, or determination, all I need to tell them was that she stood on a ladder for 3 days with her arm in the air like this, painting the top birds on the mural. It was very similar to how Michelangelo did his paintings. And we would ask her, "Do you need a break?" Or, "Are you okay?" And she would say, "Yeah, no, my back is killing me," or, "Yeah, no, my arm really hurts." But then she would say, "I'll take a break, maybe later, maybe," and then she would finish what she was doing. So I asked her mom for a sweet little anecdote to share, and I thought she shared a really good one. So this is from her mother. One story that came to my mind was a story from kindergarten relayed to me by her kindergarten teacher. The class was huddled around the circle talking about what they wanted to be when they grew up or where they wanted to live. When it was Paxton's turn, she said, "I'm going to live in the White House when I grow up." The teacher said, "Oh, that's so nice that you want to live in a White House. That sounds lovely." Paxton said, "No, not a White House, the White House." The teacher told me this story at the next parent-teacher conference and then added, "I have no doubt she will." Her mom added, "I just think that this is a great story that describes Paxton very well. I think she will be able to accomplish anything she puts her mind to. She is such an empathetic and compassionate person with intelligence to boot." I couldn't agree more. Paxton, you are our salutatorian, and we are so proud of you. You are a very smart and special human, and I wish all of the best for you. You are a fantastic and totally original person with a mind for both pragmatic and logical thinking, but also creative exploration. You are welcome to come chill in my art room anytime next year, and we will all miss you very much here at Capstone. Tonight, I also have the pleasure of speaking about Miss Hannah Pavelson, whose last name I still misspell to this day. I'm sorry. I have accepted that I'll never be able to spell it right. So, this past year I had Hannah for second period AP Psychology. Needless to say, it was a very strange spring semester, but our fall semester was smoother, and I felt I got to know her a little bit back then. Hannah quickly distinguished herself as an organized student with the most beautiful handwriting. Her notes were seriously beautiful, color coordinated, and perfectly spaced. I soon learned that Hannah is a very hardworking, organized student, and she is also a very kind person. She and Oliver frequently came to class with giant Starbucks cups, which I was very jealous of, by the way, but somehow they were always on time and in a good mood when they stepped into the class. Hannah was such a positive presence that you can feel. She has an easygoing spirit that makes her a very likable student and person. Hannah had the challenging task of balancing work and school. Some of you may know that she works at a beauty salon, right? But throughout the year, she proved to be a totally responsible and on top of things girl. Even working on school days and weekends, I don't think she ever turned in anything late, and she came prepared for class every day. It is a testament for how prepared she is for her next steps in life. I imagine you might have been ready for these next steps for a while. Hannah, as you go off to College of Charleston, which I'm crossing my fingers for you, I know that you will conduct yourself with all the poise and grace that you have shown to possess throughout the year. I'm 0% worried for you. You are ready and you will do great things. So in closing, I'll leave you with one of my very favorite excerpts from a book that somehow always seems to be relevant, Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go. It comes in after the character has kind of gotten lost on his path. And it says, "You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. Sure, so be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed." Congratulations, Hannah. We will miss you so much next year.
So my name is Kellyanne Madiker, and I had the honor of teaching Alex for both geometry and algebra 2, though I have known him a bit longer than that. I mean, I can't believe it's already been 4 years. Time just flies. And when you came to this school, you were always just friendly, studious, and on top of things, especially for someone of your age. And I was just always blown away by how just great you did everything. And how much you were willing to overcome to get here. I didn't know until really recently, until I talked to your dad, that English wasn't your first language, and I never would have known that, or however many other setbacks. Your ability to drive and overcome obstacles speaks volumes about your character as both a person and a student. You've always been quick to aid your peers and teachers with any and all of our technological problems, of which there were usually many throughout the years. But he also never made us feel like we were dumb or silly for asking questions. He was always prepared. I've always been impressed by his willingness and readiness to learn. He's an excellent student, a proud Eagle Scout, and a very, very critical member of our IT department. You've been invaluable to the school's community. And when you talk to his family, it's so obvious how proud they are of him, and how can they not be? He's done incredible work. You've done incredible work here. It's hard to say goodbye. You've been here for so long. Your presence definitely it's gonna be missed. You've been an essential member since the day you stepped foot into what was once Rivers and now Capstone. And I wish you all the luck at the University of North Georgia, where no doubt you will succeed, very much so, in the computer science department. They are beyond lucky to have you.
Okay, so I am Miss Luce again, back to say a few words about our valedictorian, Garrison. Garrison was in my U.S. history class last year, and he obviously proved himself to be a wonderful student. I first met him at the back-to-school social 2 years ago. He came up to me and told me that he would be in Mexico for the first couple of weeks with his soccer team, and asked what he needed to do to keep up. As a new teacher to Capstone, this was my first time experiencing what I would come to see as normal, that students here miss weeks at a time to pursue their outside passions. That being said, Garrison came back to school in September, and if I recall correctly, got the highest grade in the class on our first test. For him to miss so much and immediately come back and do so well obviously stood out and impressed me. As teachers, we all know how hard these kids work pursuing their goals, but his mom recently shared with me that for 5 years he traveled an hour each way to training every day. The fact that he could keep up and do so well is highly impressive. But even more than his academic achievement, I was always impressed by Garrison's positive attitude and the joy he brought to our classroom. The jokes that stick in my mind the most are about some very intense games of trashketball, a review game he and his classmates played in Miss Madiker's math class right before my history class. But there are lots of other jokes too. Garrison's ability to do well in school while also being a kind and fun classmate is a great quality we will all miss. Garrison has played soccer since he was 4, and he was even selected for a training program in Scotland last winter. Next year, he will be attending Wake Forest University on a soccer scholarship to study business. They are lucky to have you, and we will miss you.
I am Kelly as well. Kelly and I are actually both Kelly Maries, so I feel like we have a special bond there. I met Kelly for the first time in 2018 when I first stepped into Capstone as a substitute, and I will admit, I think it was my first day, and I was in a science classroom, which is foreign to me, and Kelly, I was a little taken aback because she was constantly chattering and had these loud expressions like, yes, queen, tea, okay, sweetie. But I knew I liked her, and I knew she was so fun, and her energy was contagious. Her parents say, though, as a baby, she didn't quite have that same energy, and all she did was sleep, and they'd have to wake her up just to eat. So she's definitely grown since then. And this past year, I was really excited to see Kelly's name on my roster after getting to know her a little bit as a substitute. And as school began, I quickly learned that Kelly was not only outgoing, but also super intelligent and very dedicated to her academics. I could also see that she had matured a lot from the last time I spent time with her. And I was really impressed with the way that she carried herself, her studious nature, and of course, how she kept the classroom entertained with her sidekick, Oliver. Period. What stood out to me the most, though, was how Kelly always encouraged other students in my class. She was always the first to applaud them after presentations or give them encouragement before they went up. And she created such a positive, accepting, and warm environment for her peers to thrive. She has made such a positive impact here at Capstone, as well in the world of dance, where she's immensely talented, and she will continue to thrive and excel at the College of Charleston, where she was awarded a $40,000 scholarship. We are so incredibly proud of Kelly for this accomplishment. Kelly, to say that you will do great things in college is an understatement. You will bring such energy, positivity, and pure fun to the college, while also balancing your academics the way you have here at Capstone. The people you meet and form relationships with will be so lucky and thankful to have met you, just like we all feel here at Capstone. I can't wait to hear about your future successes and what amazing things you go on to do. Congratulations, and we are so proud of you and we'll miss you so much.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Why is it not working?
She can't seem to get it. That's the best we're getting.
There you go, Kelly.